Hey family, it's me, your fellow alopecia princess. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you decided to join me, I appreciate you. So, I don't know if you saw the title of this video, but here I want to give my advice on how to handle nosy people who ask you whether or not you're wearing a wig and why you're wearing a wig, which is such a crazy question, right? Especially for like some person you barely know to ask you, like a complete stranger or some random person at work or at school. It's such a bizarre question to be asked. And I've been wearing wigs, clearly, for like the last 30 years. And I swear to you, I've never, ever gotten accustomed to that question. It always catches me off guard. I never expect to hear it. And I know that so many other people struggle with this question as well because it's always off guard. When people ask you that question, it's always off guard. I know that wigs are very common. Every other person is basically wearing a wig now. But most people wear wigs because it's trendy and, I don't know, protective styles and things like that. So for you guys, it may not feel like a jab when somebody asks you if you're wearing a wig. But for somebody who's wearing a wig because they lost their hair, it feels different. It really feels different. And unfortunately, strangers on the street, they don't know why you're wearing a wig. They probably just think you're wearing it for fashion. And maybe they want to know where you got the wig or whatever. I don't know why people are so damn nosy. People are nosy AF. Like, I've been asked if I'm wearing a wig while I was on jury duty. Is that crazy? I was on jury duty deciding a murder case, and one of the people who was on the panel asked me if I was wearing a wig while we were trying to decide whether or not we should put somebody away for the rest of his life. It's easy for someone to say, girl, you don't have to answer anybody. It's easy for you to say that. I know. If you've never been asked if you're wearing a wig, you don't know how difficult it is to just be like, oh, it's none of your business. We're not ready. We're not standing at the bus stop looking at our phones, thinking about being nasty too. We're just minding our business, and some stranger will just be like, is that your hair? Like insane. Because why would you do that? But that's okay. Your big bald-headed sister is here to give you some advice. And the advice is something that I learned in acting class when I was in college. I didn't study acting. It was just like some class I needed to graduate, basically. And it's something they call the long pause. Just there's two things, actually. It's the long pause and the reverse action. Okay, so the long pause is obvious, right? Somebody says, is that a wig? And you just go, and then they'll stop. Usually like 8 times out of 10, they'll stop. But the kind of person who asks you whether or not you're wearing a wig, I promise you, they already know the answer. That's the gag. You know what I mean? They already know the answer. So basically, they just want reassurance, or maybe they want their coworkers to know that they were right. Like they were having this conversation when you were not even in the room. And then they decided, I'm going to ask her. Excuse me, is that your hair? You know? And they just want reassurance. And in that case, turn it around on them. Just flip it. That's the reverse action. You just flip it. Karen, that's rude. Don't even answer. Because why do they deserve an answer? You already know the answer. Yet you're standing here over me trying to, like, I don't know. What are you trying to start? But definitely long pause every time. Because during that long pause, the person who asks you has enough time to think about what they just asked. Like, did I really just ask her if her hair is real at Walmart? Was I a stranger at Walmart asking a stranger if her hair is real? Let me just walk away. That's you. 8 times out of 10, they're just gonna walk away. But sometimes they continue on. Sometimes they press. You'll say, Marsha, and they'll go, oh, I just wanted to know, whatever. And then you go, but why? Why do you want to know that, Marsha? And make sure you say their name over and over again. If you know their name. If you don't know their name, you could just be like, do I know you? Are we friends? Have I met you before? What is your name? Ask their name. Just flip it on them. Where do I know you from? Did I just see you in the parking lot? And I'm saying these things because they've happened to me. Complete strangers. I wear a wig, and I'm not gonna lie, I wear some funky wigs. I'm gonna go show you the kind of wigs I wear, okay? I'm cooking dinner and I should not be playing in my hair right now, but I'm just going to show you the kinds of wigs I wear. So you'll get an idea as to why somebody would be asking me if my hair is real. So right now I'm wearing the Natalia wig by Outre. This is an Outre Natalia wig. So for some reason, I'm not supposed to be wearing this wig because when I wear it, people get really bothered by it and they just have to know, is that your hair? Is that your hair? And I'll just be like, why? What? What? Like, you don't have to be rude. I'm not a naturally rude person. What I really want to say is, what the fuck, man? What are you asking me? But, you know, I'm not that girl. So I'm just going to be like, what's your name? What are you saying to me? Are you really that nosy? Anyway, I'm taking this off because I don't like cooking in my wig. All right, so I'm going to open up. Somebody said, Leah said, I tend to take long pauses just naturally. Good for you. It's something I had to learn. I used to be like really quick-witted. I think it was because of the way I was raised. My mom would ask me a question, and if I didn't answer it like within seconds, she would say, Jackie, answer me. So I felt like I've always had to do that, but I'm so glad I took that college course. The long pause is the best thing in the world. The hair is your hair, whether it's a wig or not. It is your hair, actually, but you know what they want? They want that confirmation. They want to know, I mean, like, did you grow it? This guy at work once did that to me. He was just like, is it your hair? And I was like, first of all, he knew it wasn't my hair, so what the f, right? But pardon my French. I said, yeah, of course it's mine. Who else's would it be? That was, I was at work, so I knew this guy for a little bit. I felt snazzy that day, so I said it like that. Then he went on to ask further. I mean, like, did you grow it? And then I used the long pause because like, what else am I, we're not getting into this. Not with the strangers, not with the strangers. Anyhow, so I'm going to I'm making like a teriyaki chicken today. So I've already cut up the breast. I'm gonna cut up the, some chicken legs to go in it because I like a little bit of bone inside of my meat. Y'all know I'm a stay-at-home wife now, so I cook 3 times a day, which is a lot, but I do like being home. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of things I do in life that people don't agree with, and I don't care anymore. I just long pause it. People are always like, "Oh, girl, how you a stay-at-home wife? How you know your man not gonna cheat on you?" Like, long pause. Because guess what? You go to work every day. How you know your job is not going to fire you? I worked for 30 years of my life. I started working when I was 13 years old. What's the math on that? I stopped working when I was 48. Anyway, yeah, I know that there's worry in work, just like there's worry in staying home and cooking for your husband all day. I know. But I'm doing it. So here, this is what it looks like. I'm using a mallet and a butcher knife. Because one thing for sure, if I'm gonna be a stay-at-home wife, the dinner better be good. That's something I gotta say. All right, so if you guys missed the intro to this, I'm just talking about how to respond to nosy people who ask you whether or not your hair is real, if you're wearing a wig, why you're wearing a wig. It's easy to assume that these people are all your enemies, and I've come to learn that they're not. Even though it feels like they are, they're really not. I have been asked other things that are really weird, like if the glasses I'm wearing have prescriptions in them. Why would you ask me that? You want to borrow my glasses? I don't know. People ask weird questions, so it can't just all be about, you know, people trying to make fun of you because you're bald. It feels like that, but it can't all be like that, right? You're wondering, I'm butchering meat while we're talking. Sorry, this piece of chicken is giving me a hard time. I'm making teriyaki chicken, so this is breast and legs. I like dark meat. My husband likes white meat. So I like to have a little bone inside my... Somebody's asking me. Laura Togue invites you to co-host. What does that mean? Who are you, Laura Togue? I really want to let you co-host, except that okay, so the reason why I'm not quick to accept those invitations is because I accepted one once and some woman who was in full Muslim garb. I don't know if she was praying for me or what. I don't know what she was saying because she wasn't even speaking my language, but it was so awkward. And I didn't know how to stop the live. So I was just like, I'll never do that again. But anyway, I apologize for not being able to respond to that one. So I'm cooking for myself. I'm cooking for my husband, my daughter, and my nephew. So how much food should I make? Okay, I'm making 3 chicken legs and 3 breasts. So yeah, I was saying that people will ask why you're wearing a wig, if you're wearing a wig, like, and they'll do it in public. Why can't you contain this curiosity of yours? Why do you have to ask? It's one thing if we were friends, but usually it's not friends who ask. The people who I've made friends with in my life have probably never asked me that question. I'll just naturally tell them, but they'll never have to ask. You know what I'm saying? So it's really weird. I don't get it. Anyway, so the long pause. I was talking about the long pause, which is a great technique. When somebody asks you whether or not you are wearing a wig or why you're wearing a wig, long pause them. That's something I learned in college. I took a class in college. It was an acting class. And in that class, they talked about this thing called the long pause. So you just take as long as you want to answer the question. And during this long pause, the audience is supposed to be waiting for you to have this big, profound statement or a big, profound answer, right? So when someone asks you whether or not you're wearing a wig, you will long pause. And the audience, who is the person who asked you, and maybe the other people who might be around, because oftentimes other people are around when they ask you this question. I think I'm making too much chicken, y'all. I've cut up too much meat. Look how much meat this is for 4 people. Is that too much? Oh my God, I did too much. All right, let me salt this and put this away. I have 1 piece of chicken left. I'm gonna put this in my bag and salt it so that, oh shoot, I have 2 pieces of chicken left. So that I can refreeze it. If you have to refreeze meat, all you have to do is salt it so it doesn't go bad while it's freezing. Yeah, so all you have to do is long pause. And during that long pause, what you're doing is you're composing yourself. Because usually when people ask you that question, you're not expecting it. You're like minding your business at work, at school, at the bus stop. And then some random person will just come and ask you that question. And it catches you so off guard. Hit them with the long pause. That long pause will save you from so many conversations. And if the long pause doesn't work, hit them with the reverse action. I'll give you an example, right? You're at work and someone will be standing there staring at your hair because they sweating you. You know, they sweating you. They just be sweating you, right? And they'll go, is that your hair? And you'll turn around and look at them and go, and they'll stare right back at you because, I mean, these people are audacious as fuck, right? Like, you staring at them, they're staring at you. Staring at them, staring at you. When they ask you those kind of questions, these kind of people who are hateful, I guarantee you there's going to be people around. And those people also become part of your audience, right? So all of them are waiting for you to answer. Is it your hair? Is it your hair? So you just flip it back on Joanne. Just, Joanne? And now everybody's looking at Joanne. Like, go ahead, Joanne, say something. What you gonna say now, Joanne? And here go Joanne. Oh, I just want to know because Joanne, can I finish my work? Thank you. Because what the fuck, Joanne? My God, these people are so out of pocket. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna finish cooking my dinner. Maybe I'll hit you guys up later. Hopefully you'll be around. I love you. Peace.